my black and brown brothers and sisters side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Could we talk about distractions?
Could we talk about
Distractions.
Could we talk about distraction?
Say if you're listening to someone and there's a sound, and the two sounds conflict. Now, you say there should be no choice, yet doesn't the mind go toward...
Yes, sir, I've understood your question. Distraction. Why do you call it distraction? You want to hear what he's saying. You listen for 2 minutes or a minute or a second, and your mind wanders off. Why do you call it a distraction? Why do you compare, say this I want to listen and that I don't want to listen? Now, by saying that it is a distraction, you're already in a conflict, aren't you? Right? Because I want to listen to you, what you're talking about. I give my attention for a few minutes to you. And my mind cannot sustain that attention. And it goes off. I won't call it distraction. I say, all right, it's gone off. I want to find out why it is being pulled away in that direction. I'm interested not in a fixed attention, but attention. You follow? Whether the attention of listening to you or the attention that makes me wander away. I attend to what is called distraction, which is not a distraction. If there is attention, there is no distraction. You've got it?
Pause it real quick. What he's saying is, when you are attentive with your mind, body, and soul all aligned, there can be no distraction. When you're inattentive, you can be easily distracted. That's the essence of Krishnamurti's philosophical work. He was saying, you don't achieve what you desire to achieve because you are partially attentive. You're attentive to the piece you like and inattentive to the piece you don't like, or overly aggressive towards the piece you don't like. Do you see? Total attention is something that he passed on to the great Bruce Lee. Total attention. Many of us lack that. This is why stimulation and stimuli is important. But stimulation doesn't last long. So you got to go to the next dopamine hit. You got to keep moving to get the next hit. Do you see? We were never taught to be totally attentive without judgment to the unhealed pieces of ourselves. We've been taught indirectly and sometimes directly, suck it up, move on. That's life. Get over it. Isn't that what a lot of folks have said to black people about slavery? That was 150 years ago. None of us are alive back then. We're not responsible for that. It's time to get over it. Right? Do you see? The demon of feeling unseen, unheard, still exists until we decide to see and hear ourselves. We cannot look for the answer externally. And so he's talking about distraction. I believe when you're unhealed, you're prone to distractions because you're in search of the next supply, the next stimulus. Do you see? Demon time and digital distraction. How technology creates pathways for possession. Through postmodern theory, we will explore how our constant engagement with technology creates an illusion of fulfillment while fostering disconnection. That's what Murti Krishnamurti was saying here. Right? Digital distractions can serve as coping mechanisms, often leading to cycles of avoidance regarding deeper emotional issues. I feel better when I'm traveling. I even like traveling by myself. Do you see? Data suggests that individuals who frequently engage in digital escapism report increased feelings of loneliness and disconnection from their true reality. Man, we got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Attila, let's get that final thought. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I thought Attila was still on. I'm sorry. We got John from Mountain View. Pastor John is about to get in here. I already know what it's about. Mountain View, Hawaii is in the building. Aloha. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Aloha. Greetings and blessings, chat. Greetings and blessings to all that's in the sound of my voice. But if externally we're always looking for the stimulant that's supposed to help us out, why is that grocery list of things that we need never something that helps us internally?
Sometimes you got to get it to recognize that it's not the remedy.
Well, that is true. Mm-hmm. But again, we're always looking on the external things instead of the internal stuff. That spiritual Ajax that I spoke of last week.
Keep going. I'm listening. Keep going.
Well, let me not go there, but go here. Because I'm going through a dilemma right now. Mm-hmm. As a self-love deficient human being who is trying to find the answers in between this aspect, if me volunteering as a stepfather is called now a psychological sickness, could marriage also be seen in the same light?
What? Hold on. And I totally understand where this is coming from. There's a whole movement on the internet that's basically deriding stepfathers and saying it's a bad deal and you should never do it, right? I personally, I find no intellectual value in that conversation. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, these are hurt men talking like that, right? And I don't know who said it. Who was the person who said it? Because I thought it was on some like sports podcast, if I'm not mistaken. Who said that?
Well, that's a good question because I'm trying to find out that individual too. Because if you're looking at it from the just one hurt perspective, right, which again, marriage could be seen in the same light. Isn't that the reason why people disregard and disrespect men because they are out doing what you need them to do for you?
So let me go back and address the first piece. Number one, there are many stepfathers out there that are saving kids' lives because A, they're probably better than their biological father in terms of guidance, provision, strength, protection. So that's one point that debunks the other thing. Then on the marriage side, this is where people get marriage messed up. They done bought into the vow, but guess what? They haven't become the thing that the ring and the dress and the tuxedo and the bridegroom and the flowers and the bridesmaid, all that stuff is a symbol. If you look up the word ceremony, it means symbol. Many people, it's easy to get the symbol. We can set a date, we can pick the colors, we can match, we could do all of that. But if we're not healed, do you understand? If we haven't gone on a healing journey to conquer what's happening in us, and we're talking about it tonight, a self-exorcism. If we haven't done a self-exorcism, or at least tried to, are we really ready for marriage, which is supposed to be the highest covenant when it comes to spiritual relationships? Are we ready for that?
Once again, we bring about the distractions that we choose externally instead of the Ajax that's supposed to be cleansing the soul that you have need of.
For in the spiritual context of what you're talking about, cleansing the spiritual Ajax, what that is non-judgmental observation of oneself. In other words, that is the reverse of self-aversion, self-avoidance. Many of us stay broken, stay unhealed, stay possessed by unhealed wounds because we have avoided ourselves all this time. That's what suppression is about, repression. We're pushing stuff on that. We're pushing it down. We don't want to deal with it. And in not dealing with it, we've made the answer a ceremony. Think about it. Would you get in a plane that has a 50% chance of going down?
But you're also talking about people who are building the plane and trying to fly it at the same time. Still external.
But again, you see? Like if we just, what I'm saying is, yes, the institution of marriage is needed. Yes, black men and women should get married and build families and do all. I love it. But guess what? It's still an issue. It's a problem if you haven't done any self-work. I don't care if you're cohabitating and y'all got kids and you're raising kids. If you're cohabitating and you guys have kids, but y'all have done some self-work, you got some self-wins. You hear me say this a lot. You got some self-wins. You know that relationship is better than the marriage of two unhealed people that refuse to do the work? You'd better off in the cohabitation relation. You know, does that make sense?
Understand all, boss. I didn't want to provoke you, and I'm not trying to bring out eyes.
No. Hey, no. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I
totally understand what you're saying, boss.
Man.
I just brought out the questions, provoking the thought that maybe somebody has yet to find this answer.
No, the answer is there. The answer has been on the VOR for 3 years now. And you know what that is? You know what that is? We have to recontextualize the meaning of relationships. Many of us treat relationships like we treat vacations. A relationship for many people is an escape from the self. Let me get away. I got to get away. So you get away into a fun house that's going to reflect everything you've suppressed?
But change that. Instead of it being a relationship vacation, what about the relationship resilience it takes to stay in one?
Right. You know how many times people give up on you? Claim to love you. Love is infinite. How could you give up on love? And I'm not talking about abusive situations. I'm talking about it just didn't work out. It didn't work out because you didn't work on yourself. That's why it didn't work out. You're unhealed.
So bringing it.
Do you see? You're unhealed, and you make them the reason. I don't have the capacity.
But bringing it back to self-deficiency, the love of self, which will allow you to see yourself flaws and all. The ones that you have to, those demons you have to claim today,
right?
Not tomorrow.
Yes.
The ones that you have to go along with to accept, even if need be, put hands on pet and tell the demon, yeah, I know you.
I know. Rufus, come here, Rufus. Man, I love you, Rufus. Why you in here barking? Hey, guess what you just did, my brother?
Mountain View's in the house. Blessings to all.
Yes,
Love you too, man.
yes. Mountain View is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. Boundaries and exorcisms. This is what my man was talking about. Radical self-love through surrendering the ego to embrace vulnerability. Your psychological insight, Krishnamurti's teaching on surrendering, suggests that true strength lies in vulnerability, challenging egoic structures that inhibit internal growth. You can't grow until you make room. If you got unhealed wounds taking up all the space, there's no room to grow. Your psychological insight. Establishing boundaries is essential for fostering secure attachments and preventing toxic dynamics from flourishing. Right? Research shows that individuals who practice radical self-acceptance and set healthy boundaries experience improved mental health and relational satisfaction. But let me go even deeper. Tiffany, who started the show, she said, trauma is the devil's playground. Trauma, 1690s, physical wound. Medical Latin from Greek trauma, a wound, a hurt, a defeat. Listen now, listen. Do you hear that? The root of it is trowel, to rub, to turn, with derivatives referring to twisting and piercing. Does it sound like possession? Think Linda Blair in the bed, flipping around, twisting around. Was she on to something? This is the etymological root of the word. Do you understand? Originally an abnormal condition of the body produced by external violence, as opposed to one caused by poison, infection, or bad habits. Are you listening now? Do you hear the word wound? That's trauma. It's a pain, it's a twisting, it's a piercing, it's a rubbing and a turning. Is it dictating how you love? Is it dictating who you love? And does it ask for itself in kind? Patrick Carnes, trauma bonding, demon bonding. When I come forward, the voice of reason will continue this exorcism.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just too cute. Is it that you want me to go over there? If you don't, you better come on over here. Come on over here. Fly over, baby. Slide over. Slide over, baby.
To see our power was not of this earth. We could petition the spirit world and change stuff that way. And Satan knew that's real power, so let's distract them. So, how am I going to get in this? So the plan was set to bring all types of entertainment into the church and get the church thinking more entertainment minded and thinking more American dream minded, so we can get them so busy trying to achieve the American dream through working all the day and husband and wife working that they can't pray, they can't study, they can't fast. Say amen. And then on the flip side, when they do have free time, because they're so tired of working, they're so tired, they just want to relax and throw off. And so let's make sure we give them plenty of football and plenty. If you ever wonder why all this entertainment is just so strong, everything is just so strong, fighting for your attention. Let's give them plenty of football, plenty of music, plenty of movies. And the bad thing about it, they're losing money on music and movies. Yet they still putting them out, even though what kind of investment? What is the investment?
Man, Pastor Darby, he be on one. Oh, Pastor Darby, man. Listen, rest in peace, good brother. Oh, also, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. JW. Listen, JW from South Central LA. My brother, we love you. We heard that your beautiful mother has now transitioned to the ancestor realm. And I just want to say, man, we love you, J-Dub. You got a home here anytime you want to call in. I know there have been a couple of events that you had showed up to, and I either missed you or wasn't there, or, something happened where I missed you. But, brother, I need you to know that my prayers are going to you and your family's heart at this time. I'm praying for peace and understanding and closure and love and care to your family, man, as you guys, transition the loss of your mother, man. So none but love, brother. None but love. Nothing but love. We got callers on the line, and I always want to get to them. Nzinga from Pensacola, Florida is on the line right now. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, hey, good evening, Bill. It's a great show.
Thank you.
I never looked at, you're welcome. I never looked at trauma as demons, but I definitely can say they will control your life, or, how you navigate life if you don't get some help or, self-manage them. I could say that, I went through my trauma, but I didn't want to acknowledge the victim stage. I just wanted to jump to survivor, and you can't do that. You can't do that.
Right.
I was trying. It was like my wounds are like the spook who sat by the door.
Ooh.
I was walking by him every day and just kind of seeing him in my peripheral, but as you get older, things catch up with you. And if I could address things. Well, no, I did things the way it was supposed to be done. So I was supposed to address them now. I'm not going to, worry about not doing them in the past. But I do know for me, calling out those demons, because if you think about like all those religious scary movies, demons don't like you to say their name. They don't want
to give you their name. Right.
Yeah, they don't. And so for me, for years I told myself, don't cry. Like when I would feel the urge, I would say, I would push it back down. So it got so bad that I had to schedule crying through journaling, or my 3 movies were like Color Purple, or was it Dumbo, and Joy Luck Club. I watched those. I definitely get it out. But for me now, I have to kind of sit in things. So if I'm somewhere and I feel something, I'll call it out. That's the past. That's comparison. I'm calling out the demons. And
because the past, comparison, these are powerful thoughts. Stay with me, Nzinga. Pensacola, Florida is on fire. We'll be right forward.
We're nice and close, baby, I will. You're the kind of girl that wants the male to do the work. You got change.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Severe weather may cause issues for Easter travel this weekend from the Midwest to the heavily black-populated region of the Mississippi Valley. A storm system could potentially bring damaging winds and hail with tornadoes possibly on Sunday. A Tennessee missionary kidnapped by armed gunmen in South Africa has been rescued. Josh Sullivan of Maryville was preaching last week at a church in South Africa's Eastern Cape province when 4 masked men kidnapped him and demanded a ransom. Puerto Rico is dealing with a major power outage. That's according to power generator Genera. It comes after energy plants on the island shut down unexpectedly. The company said they are working to get the power back on and to get backup units running. And Grammy Award-winning hip-hop star Chance the Rapper turns 32 today. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I am D.L. Hughley, host of the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show, heard weekdays from 2 to 4 exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. I promise to make you think a little, but laugh a whole lot more. So tune in to the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show 2 to 4 only on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just wanna love you for my whole life. Do it for you, I'ma make time. I wanna kick it until midnight, just to be with you till the sunrise. I think you're making me crazy. Put my heart up on the main line. I got this trust for you. Got it cause I know what you like. I love you. Good and bad, thick and thin, flaws and all. And if you're ever in the wrong, I'll let you know. Yeah, I know that love is unpredictable, but I'm pretty damn sure that this is the kind of love that keeps me up all night. This is what I wanna do for the rest of my life. This is something that can get every bit of my time. This is what they call real love, real love, real love. You saw my halo, even on days when you should hate most. Later, I'm stuck with you.
Shame, chronic shame, is one of the most complex, corrosive, and immobilizing emotions. It often underlies pain, anxiety, and depression. Shame is like a cancer, like a tumor that grows from the injury of trauma and the wound of betrayal. This interpersonal trauma becomes deeply lodged in the body-mind and then metastasizes, infecting all aspects of a person's life. They include a loss of connection with our authentic, spontaneous self, as well as with our basic sense of goodness, rightness, and belonging in the world. I believe that there are two main sources of toxic shame. The first is when we're traumatized, abused, and humiliated as young children. We experience this as an overall sense of badness that something is fundamentally wrong with us. The second is the fear that comes from being ostracized from a group, and this can happen at different ages. For a young child, it's as though the only way we can make sense of how poorly we've been treated, how we've been mistreated, especially by those who are supposed to take care, cherish, and love us, is to lay the blame on our own badness. In other words, the way that we try to make sense of this is to somehow assume that we were the cause of that abuse and that shaming and that humiliation. And this allows the child to imagine that they have some small modicum of control in an otherwise incontrollable situation. Of course, these core beliefs are the words and explanations of the adult. So I'm speaking them from the child, but the child, their mind is very different than the adult mind. And for children, it's this primitive internalized deduction that occurs without words, context, or even thoughts. It's just an overwhelming, oppressive sensation of our own badness. But again, at least it gives us some modicum of control, because if we were the cause of it, then somehow maybe we could alleviate some of that shame. The child somehow senses that we need our parents for us to survive. If it's them that are the bad ones, then we won't survive, because we need them for our survival.
Wow.
So
fire. Did you hear what he said? That's burn. Did you hear what he said? The spontaneous self. Many of you are so wounded you've never even understood the concept, heard of it, never thought about it. A spontaneous self. You in the perpetual now, the perpetually new now. Of course, this is a metaphor tonight. I'm using possession and you being an exorcist as a metaphor, right? You have to get in there and heal those wounds. It's metaphoric, but it's eerily similar, don't you think? Nzinga, get her back in here. You was naming some demons. Ooh.
Yeah, I have to. I think that was healthy for me because I like I said, I kind of ignore stuff. Well, I did. Like, just certain things didn't even exist, and that wasn't healthy. So now, when things, I sit in my feelings. Like sometimes certain things trigger me. I get triggered around Mother's Day, Father's Day, and stuff like that. And before I used to be, a little like ashamed, embarrassed. But, when those feelings come about, when I get triggered and I'm like, oh, why? I don't push them to the side. I just sit there, but I don't dwell. I'll sit there. Sometimes I'll make something, so I'll just try to, redirect that energy. But it's been healthy. And I recommend if anybody's feeling anything, just start calling it out. Because once you say it, it kind of loses its power. Right. And I'm not saying by calling it out, it's not going to resurface and those feelings are going to go away, but they just become manageable.
Like when Big Mama used to say, I rebuke you, Satan. You're not welcome here.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Big Mama tell you straight, I rebuke you, Satan. Don't bring that in this house.
I bind you up in the name of Jesus.
Come on, Big Mama tell you all that, right? Call it out.
Yeah, because that's what, because when my therapist was giving me these things to do, I like to, like when you say when you're talking to somebody and they recontextualize it, but they're saying the same.
Right. They're just looking for words that are comfortable, right?
I was like, I do. I was like, I almost threw the phone. Stop calling me out.
It's all good.
God. But I guess that's how we learn. Sometimes, you just kind of have to spit the information back out at the person just to kind of also, that I understand what you're saying, too.
Right.
Sometimes that could be a little bit of that as well. But, yeah, I had to, just recontextualize, and I like to associate things that she says with just real everyday things that I do. It helps me memorize it, and it just helps me incorporate it, just for my well-being. And so I just like, oh, so you're saying call out my demons. And da-da-da-da-da. She was like, oh, yeah. So I was like, okay, we're going to do that. And, I do it all day.
No, I love it. I love it. Nzinga, what did you just do? You cooked all the way through. You did what my daughter say? You ate she ate that up. Is ate? That's the word. My daughter, I sit with my daughter. We watch movies and stuff. He ate that up. What are you talking about? Nzinga, you ate this call up. Is that what it is?
Okay. Yes, and she's keeping you young, though.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You brought Pensacola, Florida in the building. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look, and unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at the gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You want some more? It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, Usher, Just Blaze, been helping.
It's the last word she said to me. Now I'm wishing she was still here with me. And now that day's here, every man gotta shed tears. Never miss a good thing till it leaves you. But finally I realize that I need you. I want you back. Baby girl, I need you back. Gotta have you back, babe. Heartbroken when you left my world. Man, I wish I would've kept my girl. I love you. I don't know what I'm gonna do without my baby. It's driving me crazy because I'm missing my baby.
Hi everyone, Emma McAdam here. In this little nugget of help, I want to share one way that anxiety and depression are linked. And I'm going to try to explain how our response to difficult emotions can lead to a pattern that makes us feel less joy, more sadness, and more apathetic. So this video also fits under the category of stuff you do that makes you feel more depressed.
Andy, gosh, I really want
So
to.
I'm gonna
I want to hear this clip, but we got callers on the line, and I want to get to them before the end of the show. So let me jump right to Davy Lee, Arkansas.
Yes, sir. What's that?
Davy Lee, I cut one of my clips short because I wanted to get you in here, brother.
Oh, don't I feel special? Oh, if I was light skinned, my cheeks would be rosy.
Hey, what up, good brother? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
I'm pretty much just soaking game up, man. I just had to call in to tell y'all, man. I appreciate the insight because a lot of things from yesterday and today I could coincide with. It's really eye opening, and it's also helping me calm my anger down and stuff like that because it's very much needed. To be that helping hand that I want to be for my people, and not just for my people, but other people who look up to me, because there's so many folks who look up to me. So you always want to, have that, that will to be understanding, that will to go through certain things in order to get to certain things. Because, I'll cut you off quick. I ain't going to even lie. Right. And it's not that I cut off relationships. It's that I'll stop engaging, and just fall back. Because I'll always be there when you need me, but I'm a cut your short.
Man, I appreciate you, Davy Lee. You know what you just did, though, right?
Yes, sir. I brought y'all to my neck of the woods.
Yeah, he done brought the sticks in the building. Yeah, Arkansas in the place. Man, I appreciate you now. Let me jump on over to Detroit real quick because we're up against the clock. Please keep the comments short. Who is that? D from Detroit, Michigan. D, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yes, I just wanted to say that you really, really bring the show in a fashion that I can't even explain, and it makes me think more and more and more about relationships and men and women.
Well, I appreciate that you enjoyed the show, and I'm glad you were able to hang on the line for a little while. But thank you so much. And listen, like I said before,
I tell people about it, and I show them it, and I feel like you are my artist, and I cannot share it, but I have to because it's so powerful.
But listen, all you got to do is tell them, download the KBLA app, or go to any of the DSPs. I mean, Apple, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music. We're everywhere. iHeart. Just tell them all they have to do. This is all they got to do. Google Zoe Williams, Voice of Reason, KBLA. Boom. It'll pop up. It'll pop up everywhere. But let me just say this, D. Once again, I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you for the love, and we'll be talking soon, okay? Did we lose her? She gone? Oh, okay, she's gone. All right. So, listen, like I said before, this is a metaphor. Tonight's show is a metaphor. I have to create creative ways to bring topics to you so that you can see them. I want to stretch your mind. We've had a lot of people, especially religious folks, that would, imply, that would intimate that narcissism is demonic possession. I don't necessarily believe that. But what if we looked at it from that lens? Becoming your own exorcist, the alchemy of unhealed wounds, and the eternal witching hour. What is the eternal witching hour? Well, what did they say? Tonight's topic was demon time. That's what the youngsters, the millennials and the Gen Zs are talking about, demon time, where people get extra horny after a certain period of time, where anything ratchet or reckless or licentious could happen. Demon time. Well, I'm saying if you're not healed, or if you haven't started the healing process, you're always on demon time. That's the eternal witching hour. Unhealed attachment wounds do not require eradication, but ritualized integration. A sacred confrontation where the self become both possessed and exorcist in the alchemical crucible of relationships. When wounds wear demonic robes, Carl Jung's shadow archetype, refracted through the lens of attachment theory, suggest unprocessed trauma does not merely haunt us, it occupies us. Like a Catholic demonologist mapping infernal hierarchies, one might classify insecure attachment styles as embodied spirits, anxious preoccupied as hungry ghosts, Buddhist cosmology. eternally consuming validation, yet never satisfied, dismissive avoidant as golems, Jewish mysticism, armored in self-sufficiency, yet hollow beneath, fearful avoidance as shapeshifters, shamanic lore, oscillating between longing and terror. Neuroscientist Bruce Lipton's work on epigenetics reveals how unresolved trauma rewrites neural pathways, creating demonic, i.e. traumatic, loops of self-sabotage. Yet Rumi wrote in The Guest House, these demons may guide us toward unacknowledged grief or rage. Modernity's demon time thrives on distraction, doom scrolling as digital seance, binge watching as spiritual bypass. Behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner might frame these as operant conditioning. The brain learns to fear stillness, conflating avoidance with survival. Thich Nhat Hanh's mindfulness techniques counterpose this by framing presence as exposure therapy for the soul. When was the last time you were self-present? The corporate face, Jung's persona, acts as a dissociative mask, fracturing the psyche into Dr. Jekyll, performative, and Mr. Hyde, shadow. Eric Fromm argued that capitalism commodifies authenticity, rewarding those who sell their demons as productivity. To remove this mask, risk societal exorcism, exile from the tribe. Radical surrender, though, is the key. Exorcism as embodied integration, Krishnamurti's unconditioned mind, and David Deida's surrenderer converge on a radical proposition. Healing begins when you stop warring with our demons. When we stop warring with our demons. Internal family systems, IFS therapy mirrors shamanic soul retrieval, reframing demons as exiled child selves, pleading for reintegration. Golly. Trauma expert Babette Rothschild posits that repressed memories haunt the body like poltergeists, demanding somatic release. EMDR therapy, a secular exorcism, reprocesses these demonic, i.e. traumatic imprints through bilateral stimulation. Meanwhile, Neville Goddard's revisioning technique invites rewriting internal narratives. I contain multitudes. Replaces, I am broke. I am broken. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'm the voice of reason. None of what I said is true, but it's something to think about. I'll see you guys tomorrow on my Friday with another slapper. All right, deuces.
Saying goodbye. And I can't sleep at night without holding you tight. Girl, each time I try, I just break down and die. Pain in my head, oh, I'd rather be dead.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with